This video is about the alpha loved his teacher, but loving her was forbidden. If this story captivates you, please like the video, share it with loved ones, and write in the comments how it touched your heart. The moon hung low over the darkened woods, casting an ethereal glow that danced across the forest floor. Silhouetted against the silver light was the sprawling form of the Silver Moon Pack's territory, a realm steeped in ancient traditions and untold secrets. Within the heart of this wilderness lies a small village where humans lived unaware of the werewolves that prowled just beyond the shadows. In a modest school nestled at the edge of the Pack's territory, books lined the shelves, the pages whispering the wisdom of ages past. Here, in the sanctuary of learning, the Alpha's heart beat wildly for one person, his teacher, Alara. She was everything he wasn't, a wise, gentle human. As the last bell rang, the classroom emptied, leaving behind the scent of chalk and the echo of laughter. A soft breeze fluttered through the open window, carrying with it a hint of jasmine. Alara stood by her desk, organizing papers, oblivious to the way Alec, the Pack's alpha, watched her from the doorway, his heart thundering like a distant storm. "Alec, I didn't expect to see you here after school," she said, glancing up with a warm smile that ignited a fire in his chest. He stepped inside, his hands shoved deep into the pockets of his jeans. "I needed help with the English essay," he replied, feigning innocence. But those dark, stormy eyes of his betrayed the truth. He came for her. "Of course, I'd love to help," she said, tilting her head as she studied him. There was something in her gaze, a softness that made the walls around his heart tremble. "But let us finish quickly. I have to prepare for tomorrow's lessons." As they sat together, the tension in the air enveloped them like a warm blanket. Alex struggled to focus on the papers in front of him. Instead, he found himself captivated by the way the light played in her hair, the way her laughter seemed to weave magic in space between them. "Alara," he began, his voice barely a whisper, "what do you think love is?" Her brow furrowed in thought, and for a moment the classroom faded away. "Love is a connection, I suppose. It binds people together, regardless of their differences. It is powerful, yet fragile." He nodded, feeling the weight of her words. What if that love was forbidden? Her gaze turned serious, and she leaned forward, a frown creasing her brows. "Forbidden love can tear people apart, Alec. It is full of pain and longing, but sometimes," she paused, "it can also be the strongest bond of all." Alec held her gaze, the depth of her words piercing through his carefully constructed barriers. He was the alpha, bound to lead his pack with honor, yet his heart yearned for the very person he should stay away from. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting shadows that danced across the walls, a sudden noise shattered the moment. The classroom door swung open, and in walked his beta, Marcus, his face twisted with a mix of concern and irritation. "Alec, we need to talk now." The moment shattered like glass, and Alara's expression shifted, confusion flashing across her features. "I'll be right back," he said, his voice strained. He wanted to say, to bask in her warmth, but duty called. He followed Marcus out into the dim hallway, frustration coursing through him. "Can't you see you playing with fire?" Marcus hissed. "You read the alpha. You can't let yourself get distracted by a human." "I care about her," Alec replied, his voice firm, yet burdened. "More than I should." Marcus ran a hand through his hair, exasperated. "You know the rules. If the pack finds out, I don't care what they think." Alec shot back, his wolf howling within him, desperate for freedom. "Alara isn't just some passing fancy. She is everything." "Everything? You risking it all. The pack, your position. You could lose everything, Alec." "I'd rather lose it all than live a life without her," he confessed, the weight of his desire crashing down upon him. Marcus studied him, the tension palpable. "Just think about it. The pack respects you, but if they find out "I know," Alec interrupted, a deep growl escaping his throat. "But it is not just about the pack. It is about me, my heart. I can't let this go." As they argued, Alara stood alone in the classroom, an unsettling feeling creeping over her. She had sensed the change in Alec, the passion in his eyes, and the way he lingered longer than any student should. But she also understood the stakes her heart and his position were intertwined in a precarious dance. "Focus, Alara," she murmured to herself, shaking her head. She had sworn to keep her feelings at bay, to remain a responsible teacher. But love had a way of unraveling the strongest intentions. The tension escalated as night fell, and Alec returned to her classroom, the weight of their previous conversation heavy in the air. "Alara," he began, his voice thick with emotion, "I need to tell you something." "Please don't," she interjected, her voice breaking. "I can't bear the thought of you sacrificing everything for me." He stepped closer, the air between them crackling with intensity. "I do risk it all, Alara. You make me feel alive in a way I never thought possible. You are not just my teacher, you are my everything." Tears threatened to spill as she fought against her instincts to fall into his arms. "Alec, this is wrong. You need to focus on your future as Alpha. I am just a teacher." "Not just a teacher," he replied, his voice rising with passion. "You are my mate. I can feel it in my bones. The bond we share." "Stop," she shouted, her heart racing. "You can say that. What about the pack? What about your duties? You have to think rationally." "I am not being irrational. I am being honest." His eyes bore into hers, raw and vulnerable. "Every moment without you feels like a betrayal to my soul." A silence hung between them, thick with unspoken words and longing. She could see the truth in his eyes, the wolf within yearning to claim what was rightfully his. But the reality loomed larger. There were rules, boundaries, and an unyielding pack that would not look kindly upon their love. "You deserve a leader who will uphold the pack's honor," she whispered, tears escaping down her cheeks. "I can be that for you." Alec took a step back, his heart breaking at the sight of her pain. "Alara, please don't push me away. I can walk away from this." "Then you must," she replied, her voice trembling. "For the sake of your pack and your destiny." He turned away, the ache of rejection embedding itself deep in his soul. "You don't understand," he murmured, stepping out into the moonlit night where shadows swallowed him whole. As the door shut behind him, Alara sank to her knees, the weight of their forbidden love crashing down upon her. She had always known the roles, the expectations that came with her role. But in that moment, she also knew that destiny had a way of intertwining lives in the most unexpected of ways. Outside, under the vast sky, Alec howled into the night, his voice a raw expression of pain and longing. The moon, bright and watchful, illuminated the choices before him, duty or love. And as he wrestled with his heart, he felt the pull of fate whispering secrets only the wolves could understand. The night was just beginning, and the path ahead was shrouded in uncertainty. Yet, amid the shadows, one thing remained clear: the bond forged by love would not be easily severed, no matter the price. As the stars twinkled above, their hearts beat as one, two souls destined to collide against the currents of tradition. Where this path would lead, neither could know. But the journey had only just begun. The next day dawned with an uneasy stillness that enveloped the silver moon-packed territory. The sun, a muted sphere behind the clouds, mirrored the turmoil brewing in Alec's heart. Despite the warmth it offered, he felt chilled to his core. He lay sprawled on his bed, staring at the ceiling, haunted by the previous night's events. His wolf stirred restlessly within him, clawing against the confines of his heart. "You know she is ours," it growled, each word laced with a possessive longing. "She belongs to us." "I can Alec replied, forcing the words through a throat tight with pain. "I can betray my pack." But even as he spoke, he felt the weight of his denial. Alara had become more than a mere obsession. She was a lifeline, a reminder of warmth in a world that often turned cold. And the thought of never seeing her again was suffocating. Despite his resolve, he found himself wandering to the skull again that evening, the path drawing him deeper into a web of longing he couldn't escape. As invisible threads pulled at his heart, he made his way past the familiar trees, their branches whispering secrets only he could hear. Inside the school, Alara stood in front of the blackboard, her back to him as she wrote out an equation. He could smell jasmine again, the scent curling around him like a lover's embrace. "Alec," she turned, startled, her expression shifting from shock to something more guarded. "What are you doing here?" "I know it is not right," he began, stepping closer. "But I had to see you." The air thickened with tension as her eyes widened in disbelief. "You shouldn't have come," she whispered, her voice trembling as she fought against the pull of her own heart. "I can bear the thought of not being near you, Alara," he confessed, his voice breaking. "What we have is real. You feel it too." "No, Alec," she pleaded, shaking her head, fighting tears. "This is wrong. We can act on this." "Why not?" he pressed, desperate. "Why should I deny what my heart screams for? Why should you?" "Because you read the Alpha," she shot back, her eyes fierce yet glistening with unshed tears. "You have a duty, a pack that looks up to you. You can abandon them for me." "I'd rather leave with my heart than without you," he replied, stepping closer. "I'd rather risk it all than live a life hollow and empty." As he spoke, the air around them seemed to shimmer, a force that defied the rules they had been taught all their lives. The very essence of their connection pulsed between them, a recognition of something deeper than mere attraction. It was destiny. Alara broke eye contact, frustration etched across her features. "You don't understand. If this goes wrong, it won't just be us who suffers. The pack will crumble." Then I'll fight for us, he vowed, his voice slow and fierce. I'll defend our love against anything, even the judgment of my own pack. You deserve that. Her breath hitched, and for a moment Alec could see the walls she had built around her heart begin to crack. He reached out, brushing a stray strand of hair behind her ear, his fingers lingering just a moment longer than necessary. Please, Alara, he begged softly. Don T pushed me away. Suddenly, the door swung open and Marcus stepped inside, his eyes wide with alarm. Alec, what the hell are you doing? The tension shattered like glass as Alara stepped back, instinctively putting distance between them. She turned away, her breath shaky, and Marcus's gaze darted between them, suspicion brewing. Marcus, Alec warned, his voice low. This isn't what it looks like. Isn't it? Marcus challenged, crossing his arms, his disapproval palpable. You are risking your position, your future for a human. This is madness. I am not risking anything, Alec snapped back, his wolf growling in the back of his mind. Alara is not just a human, she does everything to me. Alara's heart raced as she heard the truth in his words. The pull of their bond was undeniable, yet the consequences loomed large, a dark cloud over their heads. Get out, Marcus, Alec ordered. This is between Alara and me. Then you read both fools, Marcus spat, frustration etched in his features. You think you can just ignore the pack's traditions? They will not tolerate this. Let them come, Alec retorted. I will stand beside Alara, no matter the cost. Alara felt a rush of warmth and fear wash over her simultaneously. She stepped forward, her heart pounding in her chest. Alec, please don't provoke them. You know how they can be. He turned to her, desperation etched across his face. But I can lose you, Alara, I want tea. I know it feels this way now, she replied, her voice trembling. But love can blind us. Think of the future, your future is alpha. I don't care about the future if I can have you in it, he declared, his eyes fierce yet vulnerable. Yuri, my mate, Alara, I can feel it. The room fell silent, the air thick with unspoken words and unyielding emotions. Alara's heart raced as she fought against the truth, knowing that deep within she felt the same. Suddenly, Marcus spoke up, his voice harsh. Fine, if you both set on this path, you need to know the consequences. What are you talking about? Alec asked, his brow furrowing. The pack doesn't just disapprove of this, they will react. If they find out, you could be challenged, and Alpha can show weakness. Alec's jaw clenched, a mix of anger and fear coursing through him. I am not weak, Marcus, I am in love. Love won't save you when they come for your title, Marcus warned, his tone heavy with concern. You need to think this through. Alara's heart sank as she processed the weight of his words. What do you mean, challenged? If there are doubts about your ability to lead, Marcus explained, other wolves will rise up. They will see this as an opportunity to take your place. Your heart could cost you everything. Alec turned to her, his eyes pleading for understanding. I'll fight for us. No one will take me from you. But at what cost? Alara whispered, tears pooling in her eyes. Alec, don't throw everything away from me. I'd give it all for you, he said fiercely, stepping closer. But I need to know you're with me. Alara hesitated, feeling the weight of her own heart. The line between duty and desire blurred, and the inevitability of their bond loomed larger than life itself. I don't know if I can, she whispered, her voice trembling. But I can pretend I don't feel anything for you either. Alec's heart soared, but the shadows of reality cast a heavy pall over their moment. Then let us face this together. Whatever comes, we'll handle it. Before she could respond, the bell rang, echoing through the hallways like a harbinger of fate. The moment shattered, leaving them standing on the precipice of a choice that would alter their lives forever. I have to go, Alara said, her voice breaking, the fear in her heart clashing with the desire to be with him. Don't walk away, Alec pleaded, his voice slow and raw. We can figure this out. But before she could reply, she stepped back, retreating into the shadows of the hallway. The moment felt stolen as uncertainty loomed like a storm cloud overhead. Alec stood frozen, his heart cracking with the weight of unspoken words and lost opportunities. The scent of her jasmine lingered in the air, a bittersweet reminder of everything that lay ahead. As the darkness of night fell, he howled once more into the void, the color mixture of sorrow and defiance. The moon shone down, a witness to their struggle, casting light on the twisted path before them. The choices they faced were clear: stay bound to tradition or risk everything for love. And as the stars twinkled, the threads of fate shimmered, binding two souls together in a destiny that would test their hearts, their loyalties, and the very fabric of their beings. The following day dawned cold and grey, the sun hidden behind a wall of thick clouds that seemingly mirrored the turmoil in Alec's heart. He lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, battling the suffocating weight of his emotions. His wolf howled within him, a primal voice demanding he reclaim what was his. "She has meant for us," the beast growled, clawing at Alec's restraint. "We cannot let her go." "I know," Alec whispered back into the silence, the words heavy with anguish. "But I can betray my pack, I can lose everything I've fought for." But the memory of Alara's laughter lingered in his mind, a sweet melody that pulled at his very soul, reminding him of the warmth and light she brought into his life. The thought of a future without her felt unbearable. That bond, forged in stolen moments and hidden glances, called him with an urgency he couldn't ignore. Just as he steeled himself to confront his reality, a knock echoed through the stillness of his room. Marcus entered, his expression grim, the tension palpable. "Alec, we need to talk," he said, his tone heavy with urgency. "The pack is on edge. They sense something is off." Alec sat up, a wave of dread washing over him. "What do you mean?" "Whispers are growing. They've noticed how often you've been around Alara. They're suspicious, and if we don't act fast, we risk everything." Alec clenched his fists, anger bubbling beneath the surface. "I want to let them dictate my heart. I want to let them take her from me." "Think about this," Marcus urged, stepping closer. "What if they challenge you for your title? You know how brutal the pack can be. The last alpha who showed weakness was torn apart." The words struck a chord deep within Alec, and he fought against the fear creeping into his heart. "I can handle them. I can protect Alara." "Protect her from being your downfall?" Marcus fired back, frustration flaring in his eyes. "You need to make a choice, Alec, love or leadership. Why must it be either?" Alec countered, desperation lacing his voice. "Why can't I have both?" Marcus shook his head, the weight of their reality too much for him to bear. "It is not that simple. Love isn't enough when the pack's loyalty is at stake. You have to choose wisely." As Marcus' words hung in the air, Alec felt the pull of destiny clash violently against the responsibilities of leadership. "I can do it without my heart. I want to be a leader if I can be true to myself." Then he needs to prepare for the consequences. The pack won't stand idle while you stray from traditions. If they sense weakness, they will act. Alex stared at Marcus, his heart pounding. "Then I'll confront them. I'll show them my strength through love." "Love won't save you from a challenge, Alec. You know this." His voice softened, genuine concern flashing in his eyes. "This isn't just about you anymore. It's about everyone." Alec nodded, feeling the weight of Marcus' words settle uncomfortably in his chest. "I understand the stakes, Marcus, but I refuse to let fear dictate my heart." The two shared a tense silence, each grappling with the weight of their choices. Finally, Marcus sighed and nodded, stepping out of the room. "Just be careful. I'll back you up, but the pack needs to see strength. Don't let them see falter." As the door clicked shut behind Marcus, Alec was left alone with his thoughts, uncertainty swirling in his mind. The darkness of the forest outside beckoned him, a reminder of the wild instincts that thrummed beneath the surface. Later that evening, he found himself wandering back to the school, the path illuminated by the silver glow of the moonlight. Each step felt heavier than the last, anticipation mingling with dread. Would Alara be there? Would he find the courage to face her? When he arrived, the scent of jasmine filled the air, wrapping around him like a warm embrace. He stepped into the classroom to find Alara at her desk, surrounded by a sea of papers and books. Her head snapped up, surprise arcing across her features. "Alec," she breathed, her voice a mix of joy and concern. "You shouldn't be here. It's not safe." "I know," he replied, his heart racing as he stepped closer. "But I had to see you. I need to talk to you." She hesitated, her eyes searching his. "About what?" "About us," he said, his voice thick with emotion. "I can pretend this isn't real. I can turn away from what we have." Her expression faltered, pain flickering across her face. "Alec, please, we've talked about this. There are rules, traditions you can ignore." "I don't care about the traditions," he exclaimed, frustration bubbling to the surface. "I care about you. You re my mate, Alara. I can feel it. We re meant to be together." "Alara, listen to me," he pleaded, desperate to make her understand. "Every second without you feels like an eternity. I want to face whatever comes. I'll stand beside you." She shook her head, tears pooling in her eyes. "You don't know what you're asking for. If the pack finds out, Alec, it could tear you apart. It could tear us apart." He stepped closer, the distance between them shrinking as he reached for her hand, intertwining their fingers. "But what if we face it together? What if we fight for this?" she gasped, her breath hitching as she searched his eyes for the truth. "You would throw everything away for me?" "I do risk it all," he vowed, his voice low and intense. "But I need to know you with me. I can't do this without you." A flicker of hope ignited in the depths of her gaze, but the fear of the unknown loomed larger. "Alec, I don't know if I can. What if it all goes wrong?" "Then we'll fight," he replied, determination stealing his heart. "We'll fight for us, for our love. I believe in our bond. I believe in us." Just then, the door swung open, and Marcus stepped in, his face pale and drawn. "Alec, we have a problem. The pack is gathering. They want to speak to you." Alec's heart dropped, the weight of reality crashing back down. "What do you mean?" "They know something is off. They can smell it," Marcus said, urgency lacing his words. They were demanding answers. Alara's grip tightened around his hand, fear flashing in her eyes. "Alec, you can tea?" "I have to," he interrupted, determination blazing within him. "I want to hide. If they want the truth, I'll give it to them." "Are you sure?" Marcus asked, concern etched across his features. "I am sure," Alec replied, his voice steady, though his heart raced. "I do rather face them than lie to lie, and I'll do it for Alara." With that, Alec led Alara and Marcus out of the classroom, a weight of destiny heavy upon their shoulders. As they stepped into the cold night air, the moon shone bright above them, a witness to the choices they were about to make. The pack gathered in the clearing, their eyes sharp and their bodies tense. A chorus of whispers washed over him like a wave, and Alec felt the weight of their judgment. "Alpha," one of the elders called, his voice deep and commanding. "We demand to know what is happening. There has been talk of you and a human." Alec stood tall, heart pounding, but he refused to back down. "I am not ashamed," he declared, his voice ringing clear. "Alara is not just a human. She is my mate, and I will not deny that." Gasps erupted around him, and the murmurs grew louder. "This is madness," someone shouted. "You can lead our pack if you be distracted by her." "I am not distracted," he shot back, his will flickering to the surface, its aggression boiling beneath his skin. "My heart is stronger when I am with Alara. She grounds me." "And you think this will inspire loyalty?" Is another voice echoed, dripping with disdain. "You do risk the pack's future for a fleeting romance." Alec's gaze swept over his pack, desperation clawing at him. "No, this isn't a fleeting romance. This is love, and it is real. You can deny who I am, and you can deny who Alara is to me." The air crackled with tension as silence fell over the clearing. He could feel the weight of their gazes, the uncertainty in their hearts. Then Marcus stepped forward, his voice steady. "We stand with our Alpha. If you challenge him, you challenge all of us. Blood is what binds us. It is not a weakness." "Marcus, think carefully," one elder warned, his tone cautious. The clearing was thick with tension, the air heavy with unspoken words as Alec stood before his pack, heart racing, determination coursing through his veins. He faced a sea of faces, some softened by empathy, others hardened with disdain. But he was the Alpha, and he wouldn't back down. "Your feelings for this human will bring ruin," an elder named Thorn declared, his voice sharp as a steel blade. "You may think you stand strong in your love, but our customs run deep. This bond is a fracture our pack cannot afford." Alec clenched his fists, feeling the heat of anger bloom within him. "You don't understand," he shot back, his voice rising, echoing against the trees. "Alara is more than a human. She is my mate. Destiny has intertwined our paths, and I refuse to sever that bond, no matter the cost." The murmurs of dissent grew louder, and Alec could see the conflict reflected in the eyes of his pack. He felt the wild thrumming of the wolf within him, begging to break free, but he held it in check. He needed to speak from his heart, not from instinct. The wind shifted, carrying the scent of Alara's jasmine and reminding him of the warmth of her touch. "When I am with Alara, I feel complete. My responsibilities as your Alpha do not diminish. They amplify. Love strengthens me." "But you are blind." Von pressed, his voice rising. "You cannot lead if your heart is tethered to a human. What happens when a pack needs you? When a crisis arises, you will falter." Alec roared, the sound reverberating through the trees. "I want to allow fear to dictate my decisions. I stand here not just for her, but for all of you. Love is what makes us whole. It heals wounds and builds bonds." Marcus stepped beside Alec, his loyalty unwavering. "We stand united. Love is not a weakness. It is a force that binds us as a pack. Challenging our Alpha's right to love is a challenge to all of us." The elder's eyes narrowed, skepticism etched on his face. "You think this bond is unbreakable? You think your mere humanity will protect you from the wolves who hunger for power?" Alec felt a chill at the mention of power-hungry wolves. He knew the depths of ambition lurking within those who desired his title, but he refused to cower. Let them come, I will not falter. I will defend Alara and this pack with my life. Enough. Thorn barked, his voice cutting through the air like a whip. You are playing with fire, Alec, and if you fall, you will take the rest of us with you. Alec's heart raced, and he caught Alara's gaze from the edge of the clearing. She was pale, her hands trembling, and he hated that she had to witness this battle. He felt the pull of her love, a tether stronger than any traditions could sever. Listen closely, Thorn continued, raising his voice. If you wish to remain our alpha, then you must prove your strength, challenge the traditions, and you'll face a true test of your leadership. You will be challenged by one of your own, someone who believes you are unworthy. The pack murmured in shock, glancing at one another with mixed emotions. Alec clenched his jaw, feeling a surge of defiance. Who will dare challenge their alpha? I will not shy away from a fight, but know this, my heart will remain unyielding. Thorn's lips twisted into a sneer. You will face one of your bases. If you want to keep your title, you'll have to defeat him. But understand, if you lose, your mate will be cast out, and your leadership will be stripped. Alec's blood ran cold at the implications. A challenge meant violence, meant a brutal fight to prove his worth. And who dares to take that risk? He asked, voice steady despite the turmoil within. A figure stepped forward, his face set in grim determination. It was Lionel, a fierce warrior and one of the pack's strongest fighters. I will challenge you, Alec. You've let your heart cloud your judgment, and the pack cannot follow a leader ruled by love. The crowd gasped, eyes darting between Alec and Lionel. Alec's heart sank, but fury ignited within him. You would challenge me for a bond you don't understand. I challenge you to prove that you still deserve to lead. Love cannot be a distraction. It is time you choose her or the pack. A wave of disbelief washed over Alec. You think I am weak for loving her? I think you are a fool if you don't realize her presence puts us all in jeopardy, Lionel shot back. You love her, but can you protect the pack? Alec turned to Alara, searching her eyes for strength. No matter what happens, I will fight for us. I refuse to let anyone dictate my heart. In that moment, Alara stepped forward, her voice trembling but fierce. Alec, please, Dante, you have so much to lose. I have everything to gain, Alara, he replied with earnestness, locking eyes with her. You are my everything. I would rather face death than be without you. Tears brimmed in her eyes, and she shook her head, panic rising within her. But I can't lose you. I can't bear the thought of you being harmed because of me. He stepped closer, his hand cupping her cheek, feeling the warmth radiate from her skin. You make me stronger. I want you back down. I promise I'll find a way to protect you. The air crackled with tension as the pack watched the exchange, the weight of their expectations heavy. Thorn raised his hand, silencing the whispers. Then it is decided. The challenge will take place tomorrow night under the full moon. Prepare yourselves, and may the strongest wolf win. As the pack dispersed, dread settled in Alec's stomach. Each footfall felt heavy as he walked back toward Alara, who was still reeling from the ultimatum. You shouldn't have to do this, she whispered, her voice breaking. I have to prove my love is worth fighting for, he said, his voice low and steady. I'll keep you safe, no matter the cost. But what if you lose? She asked, eyes wide with fear. What if they take you from me? Alec brushed his thumb against her cheek, feeling the warmth of her skin. Then I will fight until there is nothing left. I will not let them take you. You are my destiny, Alara. Tears spilled down her cheeks, and he pulled her into his arms, holding her tightly. Please, promise me you won't fight them alone, she whispered into his shoulder. I can't lose you. I want to let you go, he vowed fiercely, pulling back to look into her eyes. You are my heart, and that will never change. The night was long, filled with restless thoughts and fierce determination as Alec prepared for the battle ahead. He trained alone beneath the silver light of the moon, allowing the wildness within him to rise, feeling every fiber of his being igniting with purpose. As the sun dipped below the horizon the next day, he confronted his wolf, the beast within howling with pride. We will show them our strength, we will claim what is rightfully ours. Together, the wolf growled back, anticipation coursing through its veins. When the night fell, Alec and Alara stood at the edge of the clearing, the moon casting an ethereal glow. The pack gathered, their energy electric, anticipation swelling in the air. Alec turned to Alara, his heart heavy with love and fear. No matter what happens tonight, remember that my heart is yours, you're my anchor. She nodded, tears brimming in her eyes, her fingers intertwining with his. I believe in you, Alec. I know you're strong enough to face this. As Lionel approached, he wore a mask of determination, his muscles tense, ready for the fight. The air thickened with tension, and Alec felt the weight of the pack's expectations on his shoulders. With a roar from Thorn, the challenge began. The two wolves circled each other, the energy crackling around them like a storm. Alec felt his heart race, adrenaline pumping through his veins as he focused on his instincts. Lionel lunged first, a powerful strike aimed directly at Alec's chest. But Alec was ready, sidestepping and countering with a swift punch that landed solidly against Lionel's jaw. The crowd gasped, and the tension heightened as the two warriors clashed, the sounds of growls and strikes echoing through the clearing. Alec fought with every ounce of strength he possessed, but he fought not only for himself, he fought for Alara, for their love. Each blow felt like a test of loyalty, a challenge of everything he held dear. But despite the ferocity of their fight, he could feel Lionel's determination too. This wasn't just a battle of strength, it was a battle of beliefs, of what it meant to be alpha. As the fight raged on, Alec found himself faltering, fatigue creeping into his muscles. In that moment, he caught a glimpse of Elle,